Well, hello, and welcome to the Pinfall podcast. I'm your host, Liz. I'm joined by my co-host, Mark. And if you can make out the dark outline over there, I'm joined by the heel commentator, Pepita.
She's the ultimate face.
She's just been staring me down this whole damn time. Anyways, welcome to our Wednesday NXT show. Today we're talking about NXT.
Even Splucha agrees she's a face.
She's not a face!
Yes.
She's a jerk. She's gonna come at me. I know she is. So I guess it was a pretty good NXT. I really am gonna just politely request that William Regal just chill out with the constant multiple person matches.
Yeah, like all these battle royales for the number one contender. Like, why can't we go back to the good old fashioned I challenge you for the title? You know, story driven stuff.
I just love that he's like, it seems like every week now he's just like, there's a title opportunity. What can I do? There's 5 men. I could do something with that.
Not even like Finn just got the title last week, and now he's like, hey Finn, you wanna lose it?
We don't have time for feuds in this industry, baby. We can't do a 2-month Drew McIntyre Randy Orton feud that ends in absolutely nothing. But speaking of Raw, can we talk about Raw real quick? Can we talk about the news?
No, this is
I've been dying to talk to
NXT.
you about the news. I've just been dying to talk to you about the news all day. But that's fine. I mean, we don't have to. That's cool. So, what do you want to do?
You wanna talk about sports?
Can we talk about wrestling sports in the news?
No.
Oh. I mean, how are the Mets doing?
The Mets are winning, I think, actually. Yeah, the Mets are winning 5-4 bottom of the 9th.
Interesting. That's not, what was it, 13-3 that the Yankees just won by? But that's still winning.
Alright, I changed my mind. I want to go back to the news.
I got you. I know how your brain works, sir. Please hold on to that. But not those scissors, please.
Hold on to the scissors, Pete's.
Don't hold on to the scissors, Pete's.
Hold the scissors.
She suddenly has, fingers. She's like... I mean, I guess you do have fingers, don't you? I don't like that she's just been staring at me this whole time. Anyways. So, good news for Brock Lesnar. Daniel... I can pronounce this like the French way, which is going to make me sound like a prick, or I can pronounce it the American way, which is going to make me sound like a prick. But Daniel Cormier has announced that he's in serious talks with the WWE as far as a contract is concerned. Which I guess is good news for Brock Lesnar if he returns.
He definitely will.
I could take it or leave it at this point. Also, Mickie James is mad about her match.
Understandably.
Apparently she said that she pinned Asuka and the referee didn't call it.
Okay, but
and that's why she ended up leaving.
Can she also be mad that she broke out of a submission when she was supposed to tap?
But I guess she was supposed to have pinned her, which also doesn't make sense. Why would she? Wouldn't that have made her win the title?
Yeah.
Maybe this is just kayfabe.
I feel like it's just kayfabe.
Oh man. Now I just look like a fool.
I have a piece of news.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, is it the news I was just about to give, probably?
It was about AJ Styles.
It's not about that. Okay.
Apparently AJ Styles, I might get a little bit of this wrong because I looked at this morning, but AJ Styles confirmed that he had talked to AEW. Um, he talked to them and had conversations with them about the possibility of transferring, but no money was talked about. It was just, conversations about like debuting and stuff like that. Just as he said, just business.
It's funny because when I was looking through articles to find what I was going to talk about on the news today, I saw an article that said major WWE star was talking to AEW like last year about working for them or something, and I was like, I've talked about AEW too many times in like the last however many podcasts. I can't do it again tonight.
I know you're going to.
So that makes sense. Thank you for reading that article for me.
I mean, every time this news comes up about AJ Styles and like AEW, it kind of just confirms in my mind that AJ Styles might be like the realest member of WWE, like the person who kind of opens up about his actual life more than anyone else, or kind of isn't afraid to break kayfabe.
I feel like AJ Styles is like that, like, I don't know. Like my father 100% would be like, "Hey, lie about this thing. Just like tell a goofy lie," and he would not understand, and he would just go on and tell the truth. I sort of feel like AJ Styles is kind of like that sometimes, where he's just like, "I don't understand what this kayfabe thing is. I'm just going to be Alan Neil Jones
Yeah.
under the persona AJ Styles." Um, but also at the same time, I feel like every article that comes out about him just makes him sound like he's so unhappy at the WWE right now.
I mean, if you're talking about like just talking with AEW and having those conversations and talking with Gallows and Anderson, it's like, even if, like, say you're at a company that you have no interest in leaving whatsoever, um, you love it there, wouldn't you still want to like see what other companies could maybe offer you, even if you still don't have that intention of leaving?
Yeah, I mean, it's just that like he's talked about stuff like this and like talked about his displeasure with things that are happening in WWE so many times that I'm just like, he could probably get in just about anywhere right now. So it just kind of makes me feel like he doesn't really want to be with WWE.
I don't know. I feel like he just knows
But
he's
I also am
untouchable.
convinced he's going to Raw. I feel like he's also going to Raw, so I'm waiting for that announcement every other day.
Yeah, that I have a very strong feeling of. Plus, I mean, considering he talked about how he wants to retire, I feel like he wouldn't say that and then go to another company.
He's probably made hella money at this point, so
Oh yeah.
he probably could
Oh yeah.
retire and just vibe off merch sales.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Kind of like Stone Cold, even though Stone Cold was less willing.
Can't all be pile driven into a canvas.
I'd like to be.
So, um, talking Shopomania, brought to you by Sex Ferguson and Chad Too Bad,
Nice.
aka Gallows and Anderson. Yeah, I don't know if you knew it, but it's done under their Southpaw Regional Wrestling names. But talking Shopomania, aka the worst pay-per-view ever. Part 2 has been booked for November 15th. Will I be watching it? Yes. Am I excited? Maybe.
Yes.
Yes. Actually, when is November 15th? I didn't even look up what day of the week that is. I think it's probably a weekend. It's probably a Sunday.
Probably. I'm sure they don't want to compete.
It's very weird. It's very weird to scroll to like look for November 15th, and I scroll past 1 month and I'm there and I'm like,
Yeah.
No. So Lindsay Dorado did some strange shit. He posted on his Instagram a picture of the back of his head, holding up his mask, like looking at it like, alas, poor Yorick, I knew thee well. And his post was essentially saying goodbye, which gives me, like, the initial vibe that you had was that he's leaving WWE, but I think we're getting a legato kind of deal right now. I think we're going to see Lindsay's face, but real for real.
Or a new mask.
Imagine if that's all that is.
He just steals Kalisto's mask.
Wait a second.
But apparently, after he made the Instagram post, people were pissed off. People, like, were just railing into him in the comments. Like, I don't know why. It doesn't make... Huh? What was that?
Why?
I don't know. I don't know why you would be so furious about that. Let me try and go to that post and see if there's any explanation I can find whatsoever. Lindsay Dorado. So
it just feels weird. Like, you not just want like some story progression? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, 561 comments. Let me see if there's I mean, you compare it to all of his other posts. A lot of people just like really wondering what's going on. Yeah, Lindsay made a general comment on his post saying, wow, so many people who never comment/liked on my post unless you see something negative. Shame on you. To the supporters, one love. Everyone else, good freaking bye.
Okay. All right. What? That sounds like 14-year-old Elizabeth on like Facebook. Good freaking bye. Oh god. Dude, I just want to see him without a mask on. Is that too much to ask for?
That'd be nice.
I have ulterior motives, but that's just because I want to know what his face looks like. I assume he's attractive. So in addition to that, Ivar is going to be out for a year after his neck surgery, which really kind of sucks because, like, what's going to happen to Eric? Is he going to be relegated to Raw Underground or fighting off Ricochet's haters?
He'll probably just be used as a jobber along with Ricochet and Apollo for a while against her business.
Wow, Broken Hearts Club, honestly.
Yeah.
And finally, the last thing I want to touch on tonight before we go way over time is the fact that there's an update on the Matt Riddle sexual assault case. It's weird. It didn't get better. It got kind of worse somehow.
What happened?
So, as some people might, as everyone probably knows, Matt Riddle was accused of sexual assault by Candy Cartwright, whose real name is Samantha Tavel. And originally, the thing that a lot of people used as his saving grace was that he filed a restraining order against her with claims along the lines of committed stalking, previous threatened, harassed, stalked, cyberstalked, or he had previously been threatened, harassed, stalked, or cyberstalked, or physically abused by this person. She threatened to harm him or his family, all this stuff. David Bixenspan apparently obtained these documents of the restraining order and found that 3 days before this hearing was scheduled for the actual assault case, 3 days prior, after Bixenspan received these documents to kind of look over, Riddle and his lawyers filed a voluntary dismissal of the case, or filed a voluntary dismissal to close the restraining order. Because apparently, according to Bixenspan's analysis, which apparently like he went through, there's a huge link that goes along with this. There's several apparent problems and flaws with Riddle's claims and the evidence he used, including dates, locations of incidents, and other specifics. So there's a little chance, without getting too topical, there's a little chance that that restraining order may not have been entirely valid.
Yeah, I mean, can I play devil's advocate here? I know you don't want me to, but can I?
I love when a person wants to play devil's advocate. It makes me so mad. Go on. Sorry, I'd take an Excedrin. My head's pounding after reading that.
I feel like if anyone, and I'm not saying this is the case with him, I'm sure anyone who was like really afraid of somebody or really like scared of what somebody can do for a restraining order, they would exaggerate on the reasons to get that restraining order.
But also, like, you can get it, like, if someone were to text you, like, hey, I'm gonna find you, I'm gonna kill you, like, over repeated amounts of time. I don't know how the law works. I don't know if the law works. That's the question that we're all trying to answer nowadays, huh? But my understanding of how the law should work is that basically, if someone were to text you out of nowhere, like, I'm gonna find you, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z things to you, you could easily be like, hey, Mr. Policeman, this is happening to me. Help. And then you would file a restraining order under the basis of, hey, this person said these things. It's as simple as that. So if you have a good reason to fear someone, it shouldn't be too hard to prove, I think.
Well, any of like the in-person stuff, like the physical assault that he mentioned, that wouldn't be so easy.
Yeah, especially when like it conflicts. I think the thing that kind of throws me a little bit here is that it's Bixenspan is saying that dates and locations, along with other specifics, are inaccurate or contradictory or stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Which, yeah, if someone were like, hey, can you remember like what happened with you and this person like a year ago? I'd be like, can't remember yesterday, so probably not. But also that sounds like he said this happened at this location on this date, and they're like, okay, well, she was in like Los Angeles at that time and you were in Louisiana.
It is weird, but regardless of what's going on, I mean, it's insane how things are still kind of up in the air right now. But I hate seeing on Twitter and on Reddit and everywhere where people are like, stop talking about it, like it's been proven he's innocent, but nothing's been proven. It's still in court, you know, it's still being settled. Nothing's been proven. If it was proven, nobody would be arguing against it.
Matt and his wife both said it didn't happen, therefore it didn't.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
Literally, that video came out and people were like, oh, okay. But, you know.
Yeah, like...
allegedly.
Exactly. I just think that it's like one of those things where it's like, the whole thing that people were basing his innocence on was this restraining order, essentially. And the fact that he was like, it didn't happen, stop asking me, and then started blocking people who asked him.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's normal. I mean, no, I do get that. That makes sense. If that's fair enough. I'm not going to fault that one. But
yeah, like
the restraining order was a really big point that a lot of people made. They were like, well, he took out a restraining order on her, so she's obviously crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And now that this guy's like, actually, that might not be like real. Like, it might be embellished. Now it just kind of makes the whole thing feel a little bit like, yoinks, brother.
Yeah.
Also, if you're not that scared of this person now, like, you're not scared enough that you're like, okay, let's dismiss the restraining order. She can come as close to me as she goddamn wants. It's like, okay, so how scared were you in the first place?
He lifted the restraining order?
That's the whole point, is that they filed for a dismissal of the restraining order about 3 days ago, I think.
He might have had to because of like in order to see her in court.
Yeah. There's plenty of people that go to court with restraining orders on the person that they're in court with. That's why they have to go to court for those kinds of things.
Okay. Well,
there's ways around it because there's officers of the law there. It's like a facilitated thing.
Yeah. I just want to say I want Matt Riddle to be innocent because I would rather see someone be a liar than somebody to have been sexually assaulted / raped. Because one is much better than the other, but I'm not. I am willing to trust.
However, if he's not, he'll go to NXT again.
Yeah, in all honesty. Anyway.
Oh, it hurts so bad. And then Kushida will beat him up, apparently.
And that's a segue into the matches and promos.
Kushida's the only ally now. I hope everyone understands that.
No, there was somebody else.
No, Kushida beat up Dream last week, and he beat up Austin Theory this week, so...
Corbin.
Oh, Bronson Reed. And Corbin. Because Bronson Reed tried to choke the ever-loving shit out of Theory.
Yeah.
Hi, and welcome to Matches and Promos.
Start us off.
Wednesday nights are easy for you.
Oh yeah, because they always like start off with a match.
And they don't have that many promos.
Start us off with what I thought was one of my favorite matches in all of NXT.
Well, Mark, I don't really want to jump to the Bobby Fish and Roddy fight just yet. That's later in the in the night.
I was falling asleep during that fight. I'll be honest.
This is a Bobby Fish podcast. I support Bobby Fish and only Bobby Fish. Thank you.
Well, no, you can make the Bobby Fish podcast Monday when I'm not going to be here.
I can't. Guys, I still don't know if I'm going to do the Monday podcast. I don't know. I don't want to do it alone. I'm nervous. I'm going to just get like my own case of like Bonavie, just plop it down and be like, all right, we're talking about Raw tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be long too.
I know. Mark's not going to be there to stop me. Maybe I just won't do news. Or maybe I'll like, well, no, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Anyways. So we have Shotzi versus Io to start the night off. Fucking insane goddamn match. I was kind of on the edge of my seat for most of it. Sad news to all the Aaliyah supporters. We didn't see a single centimeter of Aaliyah tonight.
Oh, you missed
nor
it.
Robert Stone.
Mike said, needed more Aaliyah, needed more Cameron Grimes. This show is dead to me.
To be fair, we got like a 5.5 second clip of Cameron Grimes at one point.
Yeah.
With William Regal's voice over it, but one way or the other. Silver lining. So we start with Wade Barrett saying that Shotzi is too far along the weirdo scale for him. Love listening to Wade every night now. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Shotzi launches Io and then dodges an elbow and a fist off the ropes. Io says, all right. However, I can also do a handspring, and she does that, and that's kind of cool. But Shotzi sweeps her legs out from under her. Shotzi then sort of, kind of, maybe kind of power bombs Io, like sort of, kind of. It looked kind of like she dropped her, but like she was setting up for the power bomb, just kind of like lost the grip. She power bombs her and then turns that into a fisherman's suplex, which then gets reversed into a roll up. Shotzi then gets an arm sub on Io. Io makes it to the ropes after like what felt like a half hour. Shotzi runs at Io in the corner. Io dodges her and sends her out of the ring, but she lands on her feet, which is great, up until Io moonsaults off the apron onto her outside the ring. Then we got Io sending some knees to Shotzi's rib. gets an arm sub on her. Basically destroys her up until a certain point when Shotzi manages to dropkick Io, punches her around a bit, gets a sick fucking bulldog. I want a match that's just bulldogs. That's all I want. I just want constant.
Bulldogs and arm drags.
Yes.
But
like I love the arm drags that are like kind of out of like the air.
We also saw from one match a neck drag.
Okay, don't know what match that was. Really can't wait for you to tell me when that happens.
I think it was Damien and Thatcher.
Neck drag.
Yeah, like arm around their head, drag them.
That sounds like a Tim Tam Thatchy Thatch, arms and muscles ready for the matchy match kind of move.
Oh yeah.
So Shotzi then kicks Io right under the chin. They're exchanging blows for a while. Io misses the step up enziguri, but manages a crossface takedown. And Shotzi ends up breaking the hold with a little toe on the rope. Io goes for 619, but Shotzi avoids. Manages to step up enziguri to Io, and then sentons her. Looked kind of like she landed on her neck when she did it. Worried me a tiny bit. Just tiny bit. We did not get a single welcome to the ball pit, though, so I technically think this match should not count.
She yelled "Welcome to the ball pit" at one point, but she didn't do the Jeff Hardy move. If anyone knows what that move is called, please let us know.
The I need to pay my chiropractor money again move.
Sure.
He's blackmailing me.
Mike, it's the move where one person's lying down on the ground, legs up in the air, the other person spreads their legs and jumps up and slams their double leg drop to the nuts. Is that what it's called? Lucha? Okay. I'll believe you.
Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly what it's called. Thank you, Splucha. And so I gotta like move in for this. I'm so blind. It's pathetic. So we get a German suplex to Io. It's a near fall. She's just skin over teeth. And then I'm gonna call it what it looked like it could be called. I'm sure it is not called this. But basically, it was a bridge double arm sub on Io. It was crazy. They have such long hair, I couldn't see either of their faces anymore. They were both just kind of buried there, which is cool. So Io then shoves Shotzi into the ropes, manages a facebuster and her little 619. I'm sure it's called something else because it's it's Io, whatever.
I think they've called it a 619 with other wrestlers before. Okay,
so then I don't feel silly. Then Io does the thing that always makes my teeth chatter a little bit, which is the missile drop kick. Shotzi takes Io's legs out from under her as she goes for the top rope moonsault. Not sure how Shotzi survived the missile drop kick, but it's god. Like the thing is, like you can fake like a lot of things. Like it can be kind of like two partners working together for a move. You can't quite fake gravity. And like the force at which a human foot comes at your face.
You never know.
Then after Shotzi takes Io's legs out from under her, Io is then subjected to a super Hurricane Rana. Which, Jesus Christ. That was ridiculous.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It was unholy. It was so fucking sick. I think I just kind of sat back for a second. I was like, sorry, what the fuck? Shotzi then goes up to the top rope and sends a fist to the face of Io, or gets a fist to the face from Io. I like talking. Io's going for the superplex. It doesn't really work. Shotzi manages to kind of get out. She's standing on the apron. And then Io gets down. She meets her down there. Io then does a German suplex on the apron to Shotzi, right on the edge of the apron, which looked just so fun. So fun. And then she gets Shotzi in the corner, sends some knees to her face, gets up to the top rope, does the over-the-moon moonsault, knees right into Shotzi's poor little ribs, and she won. Io won, but by a very small margin. So now, Mark, I turn over to you the job of telling us about this number one contender battle that was announced for the ladies NXT title. Please, do you know all the people in it?
I didn't even write this down as a promo, so I'm glad you passed it on to me. But I can try to name as many people as possible. So we got Casey Catanzaro.
You get $1 for each name right.
I what? I got $1 for each name right?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So we got Caden Carter, Casey Catanzaro, Xia Li, Jessie Camilla, Raquel Gonzalez, Dakota Kai, Rhea Ripley, Candice LeRae, Tegan Knox, who else is a woman? Shotzi. Shotzi. Who else is in it? I don't think Mia Yim is in it. I think that's one.
She's too busy with
Retribution.
Yeah.
Was Aaliyah in it? Aaliyah wasn't it. So it's 11.
The 5 seconds that we saw Aaliyah tonight was because they put this ad up for an extended period of time because they were like, hey, that's like 15 women. We probably should keep it up for at least a couple extra seconds.
So were there more than 11?
Good for you. I have no clue. I didn't take down all the names. I didn't take down any names. So you can go back and look at the podcast and tell me how many dollars I owe you for being right. Try to make it an even number that I can get back at CVS, though. Please. Are you looking it up?
I am looking it up.
Can I move on while you look it up?
No, because I got the article right here. Okay. So I did miss one. The one I missed was Indy Hartwell.
Oh, well, fair enough.
But everyone else I got right. Mia Yim is not in it. It's $11 you owe me.
Interesting. Anyways, so we then have Tommaso Ciampa, Lord bless his soul, versus Desmond Troy, one of the other men, aside from Ashante Adonis.
Ashante the WWE Adonis.
One of the other two men that the WWE filed trademarks for the name of. Around last Monday. So Desmond gets Tommaso against the ropes, and Tommaso sends a knee to his face, and it sounds like it connects, and we're going to pretend it didn't, because that's wrestling for you. Tommaso gets a takedown on Desmond, and then a crossface. Desmond is slowly but surely powering out. He manages a dropkick on Tommaso, and then a set of forearms. And then Desmond is clotheslined in the corner and stomped at least 40 more times.
And then Desmond is dead. Deadsmond.
Oh, not... Okay. First of all, I was going to say, not quite yet. So then Tommaso says, I'm not close enough to the frame of the ring. Sad. I'm just going to catapult Desmond into the bottom turnbuckle instead, because that seems like a good idea. Good for him. Desmond rolls to the apron. Tommaso just hooks his little arms under Desmond's and makes a very weird noise. Don't know what it was. And then does his Willow's Bell to Desmond Troy, and Desmond's now he's Desmond. And Tommaso says, "I'm gonna go get a chair and just take a note out of Timothy Thatcher's book and put the hurt on him a little bit longer."
They call hurt business.
Moment he gets that chair into the ring and the referee's like, "Tommaso, no, don't do that." Jake Atlas comes out and he's like, "Hey, remember when you killed me 3 weeks ago? I'm still alive. And I want to beat your ass." And as he's speaking, Tommaso's like, "Well, I've got this chair. I'm just going to sit down in it now." And Jake Atlas finishes his little spiel. He leaves. Tommaso's laughing and he's nodding like, "Yeah, okay. I'm going to break his neck again, I guess." And then he stands up and the chair's gone. Now, this is just a production error, but it broke my brain for like a whole minute. Because it was a very smooth cut.
Or he stood up and immediately a ref took it out of there because they can't trust Tommaso with any chairs at all.
He's like, "Nope." I'm sure it was just like a perfectly timed, like not on purpose, but a perfectly timed, like they pulled it back as the camera like pulled out. But still, my brain was just like, because then Desmond Troy was also no longer in the ring, and I was like,
Desmond took the chair.
Like, "This is mine now, babe." And then we have another promo. We have 2 more promos.
We have 3 technically. First one was Drake Maverick. First one was Drake Maverick on his way into Full Sail with his little rolly bag, being asked about the tag team match with Killian Dane, and then Drake's still optimistic. He's like, "Yeah, I know he'll be there. I know. He hasn't texted me at all, and I don't have his phone number. But does anyone know what his phone number is? He'll join me. He'll join me." And that was it.
"Please, sir, may I have some more?"
Killian Dane.
"Please, Killian, don't punch me." Sounds like the voice that I do like when I make fun of Pete's. I call her a little Cockney boy. That's exactly what his voice sounds like.
Yeah, it really is.
I don't think it's real. I think he's lying.
But then we had the exclusive interview with Finn Balor that they for some reason hyped up a lot. That was just him saying, "I'm ready for a challenger."
Isn't an interview a person asking another person questions? And not just Finn Balor sitting in his cave somewhere speaking? Acting so tough when we've all seen his Instagram posts. We've all seen his Twitter posts. That man's as soft as a jelly donut.
Mike, I would do a Finn Balor accent, but I don't remember any of the words that he said during this promo. If I did, I would definitely attempt it.
I'd love to see your generic Irish accent.
One genetic Irish accent. That was kind of bad. I kind of fumbled there.
You rolled an R there.
Sometimes they roll their R's.
I think the Scottish roll their R's a little more.
Do they?
You do have time to do another accent, though, later in this podcast, because Tegan Knox is also on. So we can see if you have a different accent for the Welsh.
I can also do my Austin Theory accent.
Oh, God. All
Hey,
right.
guys. I'm gonna sexually assault children.
Oh, no!
Allegedly.
I feel like I'm watching like those like YouTube channels that are like done by like 30-year-old men for like 5-year-old children, and I'm like, I don't trust you. I like the Wiggles.
No, Mike, don't clip that. Oh no.
Mike, please.
I
He
added
pays part of my rent.
I added allegedly, so it's fine.
Oh, okay. Well, now that we've got a pending lawsuit, triple question mark comes out. Little bucktooth freak. Frankly,
this
I
is
can
technically.
make fun.
Sorry, continue your statement.
I was just gonna say that I can make fun of him because I also have really big front teeth. I just have a lip to cover them up. So there's a cat hair on my face now.
This is technically considered next promo.
In theory. I'm going to milk that for all it's worth. Sorry. Keep going.
That's just a theory. An Austin theory.
All right. Podcast over. We will see you all probably never.
But yeah, Austin Theory comes out and he is in the ring. He unfortunately is handed a mic. I think he's talking about Bronson Reed a little bit. And then Kushida hops out from the stands and is like, "Hey, bitch. I know you've been a creep, so I'm gonna fight you like how I beat up Velveteen Dream."
So first of all, I just want to say that Kushida could have helped us a little more like he did last week, where he came out before Velveteen started talking, but that's fine. We can only expect so much from the number one ally in NXT. That said, Austin Theory is like, yeah, I know that Bronson Reed quite literally almost cut off my air supply for at least 5 full minutes. However, I am ready to fight literally anybody that wants to lay their hands on me. So, and then Kushida's like, okay, I'm just sitting by catering. Why not me? So Kushida then comes out, gets Austin immediately into an arm sub. Austin grabs the ropes. Actually, I think it was a headlock. I only wrote a sub. So shout out to Passels for that one. Once again, though, he's back to getting choked out. His face turns purple so easily. It's amazing.
I think it's naturally like that.
Well, when you're full of hot air, I'm sure it gets a little stuffy up there.
Oh, shit.
Dude, Austin Theory reminds me of every single guy on the track team in high school, and I wanted to fight them all. And now that I'm here with a webcam and a microphone, I'm gonna talk shit. I was too nerdy back then. But now I've got hard seltzer.
Do you like... Are you like projecting right now?
Maybe. Who's to say? Anyways.
Allegedly.
No, do it for real.
No.
I've been misled.
Exactly, Spoocha. Kushida's taking out all the sus people.
Mischievous and deceitful. So, there's not much stopping Kushida from doing quite literally anything he wants to do up until right after I wrote that note, which is when Kushida gets clotheslined. He gets stomped upon. He does manage to send an elbow into Austin Theory's head, but then Austin Theory does a snap suplex to Kushida and a backbreaker. It's kind of like, oh, Elizabeth, why'd you have to go and jinx it? However, Austin Theory then tries to moonsault. But with a bloated ego like that, you're not floating over the goddamn moon. I'm sorry, son. He misses it. Kushida takes advantage. Soccer kicks Austin Theory's elbow. Looked like he kicked his head, but I guess he didn't, so it's fine.
You mean Pele kick?
Fine. No, a Pele kick is over the head. A soccer kick is just like when you're like, when you use the side of your foot to kick a soccer ball.
Oh, okay.
You do that. Or as I think it was either Wade or Vic, as they said, a soccer-like kick. Not to be confused with the actual Pele kick, which is a soccer kick.
Yeah.
So Kushida then arm drags Austin Theory, and right as the arm drag is over, he basement drop kicks the fucking creep. Sends him out of the ring. He tries to kick Austin in the head. Austin dodges, and Kushida kind of pays the price up until the point where Austin Theory smacks his own goddamn forearm into the post. And then Kushida decides, hey, why don't I just slam that messed up forearm into the ground now? Gets him back in the ring, and Kushida is stomping Theory's little noggin. And then Kushida gets an underarm bar onto Theory, and Austin Theory, like a little puss he is, taps out. Maybe this is Triple H's plan. Honestly, maybe I can like find some solace in the idea that like he's like, yeah, there's a bunch of creeps and potentially pedophiles in my company, but I'll let you watch them get beaten up because it probably won't happen legally outside of the ring.
No, the definite thought process is people will forgive the brand if they get to watch these people get beaten up, and we won't have to actually do anything.
But also, it feeds into my like deepest desires.
So after that, we had a promo with Candice LeRae and Johnny. They were in their home watching NXT from home, even though the camera guy was in their living room. Actually, they're upstairs. Yeah, their guest room. It was their guest room.
Please.
And Candice was talking about Tegan and how rude she was and how she's gonna make her pay at the Battle Royal. And Johnny was just so pissed about the TV. He was like, I can't believe about what she did to the TV. We ordered a new one, but it's not going to be here till tomorrow, so we have to be in the guest room. It's flat screen, plasma, 3D. Also, who says plasma TV anymore? But also, I love how the promo like kind of slowly progressed into like Candice being kind of annoyed that Johnny like interrupted her, to her backing him about the TV and being very supportive.
I also think there's two very important things to point out here. One being that Johnny said that the TV is so amazing, it's going to be like staring into the sun, which I said, why would you buy that experience? But okay.
I'm sure Johnny does that.
I love you, Johnny, but however.
Johnny definitely does that on a regular basis.
Candice just comes out and she's like, hon, please stop. Please.
Padme's joining Johnny. This is how you botched
that one move.
Padme's doing it with Johnny.
But Padme's like... But also they note that they have not cleaned up the spaghetti since last Wednesday.
They haven't been downstairs in a week.
Johnny just says, there's spaghetti all over the kitchen still. And I was like, guys.
Padme's probably eating it all up.
Dude, they also have not seen Padme in a week because she's just down there living her best Italian life.
Oh, man. Okay. So, after that, is the next fight, which is up to you.
Oh, boy. Okay. I apologize in advance. I took a lot of notes, apparently.
Oh.
You don't realize how many notes you've taken until you put them into 18-point font so your blind little eyes can see.
No, Liz, I think that's just you because you write a lot of notes constantly.
Where's Milam when I need him most? Anyways. So we have Breezango, whatever you're feeling on a given day. We have Breezango versus Imperium. So Imperium immediately attack them. Fandango's he's the first one in, I guess. Eichner kind of stomps him around a little bit. Gets chopped up in the corner by Bartel. He chops his way out of the corner. But then Bartel tosses him to the ground, back towards Eichner.
What was that?
That was the cat.
Well, what did the cat do?
She opened her mouth and it was really loud for some reason.
Oh.
Yeah. Sort of like sounded like cracking a Gatorade bottle open. I don't know why she's like this. Anyways, so Bartel tosses him back towards Eichner. They stomp him for a little while. Bartel uppercuts Fandango. Gets a jawbreaker on him. Basically, this match is called Fandango versus Imperium because it's pretty much just him for the first... the whole time. So then Eichner's in. He's choking Fandango against the ropes. They get a belly-to-back suplex on him. Fandango finally sends a boot to Eichner. He takes Bartel off the apron, and then Eichner clotheslines him. He pulls Fandango back to his side, keeps him in his little hovel with Bartel. Bartel tags in, uppercuts him, gets a double underhook suplex to Fandango. Eichner tries to take Fandango into the center after he gets in, and he nearly tags Breeze, and I guess that's the gimmick for the whole match. He nearly tags Breeze, but Eichner throws him away back to his corner. Bartel gets back in. Fandango kicks Bartel in the face, and Bartel says, "That's great, you're still not tagging your partner in." He sends some elbows to Bartel, and then Fandango gets clotheslined again. Finally, he manages to tag Breeze in. And this was around the time that I stopped being able to take notes because it was all happening so goddamn fast, because Breeze gets in and he's got all this energy. It uses it for 41 moves in the span of 1 minute, and I lose the plot entirely. So let's just try to list this off real fucking quick. We get flying forearms to Eichner, a kick to the midsection, a drop kick, Breeze's version of a Superman punch, and a kick to the face. Gets a leg sub on him. Bartel tries to interfere. Fandango sends him out of the ring. Eichner wails free of what looks like an attempted suplex, then he drives Breeze into the canvas. Eichner gets up to the top rope. Fandango holds him back, and Breeze kicks him in the face between the legs. Tries to cover, doesn't work. They attempt their little catapult tag team offense to Eichner, but it doesn't work because Eichner just kind of punches Fandango off the apron. Bartel is then taken off the ropes by Breeze. There's a suplex to Breeze. Fandango breaks the cover. Fandango finally gets back in. Fandango's been rested enough in these past 3 seconds. And he takes Eichner out of the ring, which didn't look like this was exactly how it was supposed to happen, but he takes Eichner out of the ring. Eichner's on the apron. Fandango dives at him with a high crossbody. Kind of glances off his head, but Eichner falls out, so I guess it works. Then it's Imperium versus Breezango outside of the ring. Fandango's taking on both men because Breeze is still kind of dead. Bartel goes for Breeze and nearly suplexes him, but Fandango kind of helps him down, which is the sweetest little move. And then Fandango super kicks both Imperium fellas. And then Fandango gets onto the top rope. Goes for, I believe, a senton. Lands on his buttocks, which my little tailbone rattled in my spine. I was like, oh no. Ow. Bartel then kicks Fandango in the jaw. Eichner German suplexes him. The Bartel kick was illegal, but it's wrestling, so it doesn't fucking matter, apparently. Then we get some chops to Eichner, a tornado DDT to Eichner, which looked like it hurt Fandango just as much as it hurt the other man. Breeze and Bartel are finally back in. Flying forearms to Barty. And then Bartel European uppercuts Breeze. Breeze gets the enziguri on Barty. Eichner gets back in. There's a spinebuster from Eichner to Breeze. And then another soccer-like kick to Breeze from Bartel. Then Eichner gets Breeze on his shoulders. He's going for the tag team drop, but Fandango kicks Breeze forward while still on Eichner's shoulders, sending both men forward towards Bartel. This sends Bartel off the top rope, giving Breeze a chance to Hurricane Rana Eichner so they can retain the damn titles. It's the first half of this where Fandango was the only one in. Took 3 years. And then this happened, and suddenly every move that we were supposed to have seen across the entire span of the fight was shoved into 5 minutes. I never had to type that fast before, and I've taken typing classes. Hey there.
Hey.
Do I still have you? Still with us?
I'm here.
Okay. Cool. Alright, you wanna...
Next fight.
Oh no. Fuck. Alright. We're back in it. I have a cup of coffee over here. I'm not even drinking that. All right, Jessi Kamea versus Xia Li. Or Jessi Kamea and Xia Li versus Kaden Carter and Keith Catanzaro. Anyways. Sorry, I love her. Anyways. Back to my man voice. We start with Xia and Kaden in fighting each other. Kaden throws Xia against the ropes. Casey takes her legs out because they're a tag team and they got matching outfits and they work together.
Is that what tag teams do? They work together?
Well, yeah, you knew they were going to win when they came out in the matching outfits. Jessi and Xia didn't have matching outfits, so like...
Oh, true.
It's not a tag team. God. Anyways, so Casey takes her legs out and then Kaden kicks her in the head. Jessi Kamea manages to get in. Kaden does an arm drag on her, gets Casey in. They send some team elbows and some team kicks to Jessi. Xia gets back in. She clotheslines Casey, sends an elbow to her spine, and then sends Casey into the corner. Spinning turn kick to Casey looked just absolutely nasty from Xia. Jessi gets back in, does what I'm going to call a Superman punch because it looked just like a Superman punch, and I'm not going to dignify it with another name. We could call it a flying punch, but it's still kind of cringy. I'm not a fan of the Superman punch. But anyways, Jessi Superman punches Casey. Casey then dodges Jessi and Xia and Kaden, or dodges Jessi, gets Kaden in. Jessi gets Xia in. Now Xia and Kaden are just kind of exchanging blows. Kaden manages a dropkick on Xia. She does a really cool little roll through, and then super kicks Xia, super kicks Jessi, gets Casey in. Xia has Kaden around her shoulders like a goddamn mink coat. Casey pump kicks Xia, making her fall backwards onto Kaden, allowing Kaden to roll her forward. And that's how Casey and Kaden win. And like, you know, I get it. Imperium worked together as a team. When Bayley and Sasha were friends, they worked really well together as a team. This was some goddamn good teamwork. I'm gonna be honest with you. I would enjoy seeing more of this, and I know I will. So
yeah, you'll see it next week. Except they might have to fight each other next week.
It's how is that even working? By the way, is it like a Royal Rumble? Is that a?
And it's like a it's like a free for all.
It's a battle royale.
Yeah.
Yeah, they won't have to fight each other then. Someone will throw one of them out first.
Yeah.
All right. 2 promos.
All right, so we had the Tegan Nox promo where she's sitting in front of her desk at home, where she likes to stream. She has a Captain Marvel chair, Captain Marvel mask. It's her shtick. And she's basically saying, like, talking about the same stuff that Candice LeRae talked about, but reversed. He's gonna see her at the Battle Royale. Yeah, that's basically it.
Padme.
Say about Padme?
She said she can't wait to see the look on that little doggy's face when she beats Candice.
Oh yeah.
I was like, don't bring Padme into this. She's done nothing.
I can't wait to see the look on your doggy's face when I beat you.
Oh, that's actually really close.
Is it?
To my little American ears, yeah, that sounds really close. Good job.
What was the other promo? That's all I had.
Drake Maverick trying to get Killian Dane to come out.
Oh.
It's so sad.
Yeah, Drake was backstage with Killian and was like, hey. He was like, oi, come out. We have a match to do. And Killian was like, I told you, if you get into his fight, it's just you. You're going out by yourself. That's probably not his accent at all, because I'm doing more English. I don't know how to do a Scottish accent.
You got like a Northern English going on. You're almost there. It's like
Yeah.
or like maybe it's Cockney. I don't know. I'm talking out my ass here.
No, it's not Cockney. Cockney sounds like this.
I mean, I watch a Cockney soccer team, and a lot of them are from Liverpool. So, like, I don't know about that, but like, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Cockney's like the isn't it like the lower
Cockney's
class
like
of...
English Southern.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's working class technically.
Yeah.
To be fair, I mean, watching Liverpool, I've heard more Welsh people that I can't understand than like anything else. And listening to Tegan Knox's accent is just like so refreshing. I'm like, oh, I know exactly what you're saying. Thank you. Blessed be my heart.
So, want to get us into the next fight?
God, do I ever.
The worst fight of the night?
Okay, first of all, I won't get into this fight if that's the attitude you're taking going into this.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Exactly. So, moving on to the best fight of the night. Roddy and Bobby. My two boys. I'm so happy. I love seeing Bobby fight. He's so loud. He does not stop talking. And frankly, as a fellow upstate New Yorker, which I will mention every single time I'll mention it because I just want him to know that we've shopped at the same mall. I'm also very loud and annoying, so hell yeah. But we got Roddy and Bobby from Undisputed Era versus Drake Maverick for the most part. Let's not pretend that anyone else was there, because ultimately no one else was there. Bobby immediately starts at Drake, like, stay in your corner. And he yells for most of this. He's cheering Roddy on, which is nice. Friends supporting friends.
Except Kyle.
Okay, we'll talk about Kyle later. Because I got some things to say about Kyle, too. Don't pull my shtick on me.
I was just taking a sip. I don't know what you're talking. I was finishing off my can.
So Drake is in the corner, but Drake tries to punch both of the men, and he does a pretty good job of, he does an okay job. Roddy, once he finally kind of gets a leg up on Drake, he keeps calling him a dork. I love it.
Wait, that's Roddy getting a leg up on Drake or Bobby?
Roddy. Bobby didn't call him a dork. Roddy was standing in the middle of the ring screaming, "Look at this dork." And I said, "You're right, probably."
Bobby probably called him a fucking asshole.
They somehow managed. They found a way to cut out the frequencies of Bobby's voice from the audio because he can't be stopped from swearing. I respect it. I also can't stop swearing. So Roddy's calling him a dork, and then Drake says, "Okay, sure," and does what any dork would do to their high school bully, which is fiercely punch them to really receive absolutely no victory whatsoever. Roddy finally is backed into a corner. He sends a boot into Drake Maverick's face. Bobby gets in. You just hear Roddy screaming, "Yeah, Bobby!" I was like, I don't know how much of this is fake for you guys. I really don't. I feel like the support is very real, and I respect the hell out of it. Drake drop kicks Bobby's knees, and then knees his little shoulder from behind. Manages a missile drop kick onto Bobby. Drake tries to take Roddy out of the ring, but Bobby eventually tags in, and Drake does not realize. And frankly, I'm not even entirely sure if Roddy realized. Roddy gets a cradle backbreaker to Drake, a Uranagi backbreaker to... And And then there's a crossface on Drake. He's fighting free. It's another Uranagi backbreaker on him. Bobby's been legal this whole time. Roddy has not been. Bobby comes in and just kind of deadlegs Drake, which if you're AJ Styles, that means that you, or rather if you're Jeff Hardy, that means that you need to have a knee brace. But I guess when you're a man, it's fine. Oh, wait. I messed that up. That was not intentional. I got my brain confused. I get excited with Undisputed Era fights.
Okay.
Thank you. So Roddy's back in. There's some chops to Roddy's chest. He gets another enziguri on Drake. Drake Maverick is thrown out of the ring, and this is around the time when William Regal gets backstage, and he's like, "Hey, Killian, you can't just sit here and watch him on TV. You have to go out there. You have to fight tonight. I'm sorry." Killian's like, "Okay." So Killian comes out. He throws Drake back in the ring and tells him to win. And then walks away. So ultimately, Roddy and Bobby are...
First he said, if you're going to lose, do it like a man.
I didn't hear that.
It was right when he came out.
Oh my
and
God.
Then he turned around to walk up the ramp, and then Roddy called him a fat boar.
Right. So Roddy and Bobby are pretty much safe at this point. Killian's like, I want nothing to do with this match. I'm going back. And then Roddy and Bobby have been making fun of him this entire time. And finally, Roddy's like, if you did not hear me the first 40 times, I have called you a fat boar. And finally, Killian's like, I'm sorry. But sir. And he decides to come back. Because I swear to Christ, with Undisputed Era, sometimes they... Anyways. Killian throws Bobby straight out of the ring onto his tiny little ass. Punches Roddy in the corner. Bobby decides, hey, what if I brought a chair into the ring? So he does. And then the referee's like, hey, that's a disqualification immediately. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Bobby gets pump kicked. Both men are sent out of the ring. They're like, all right, adios, farewell. Thank you for this match. We will be heading backstage now. Please do not interact with us later. And then it's just Drake and Killian. And you're like, finally, father and son, together again. And Drake's like, we won together. And Killian's like, and he just slugs Drake Maverick.
Drake Maverick posted that clip on his Instagram and said, at least we're making progress.
Why is that me? Me with my own serotonin. God. I get that it's goofy, and I'm sure that, like, old school wrestling fans are probably like, this is silly. Every fucking time. Every goddamn time that this happens, I'm just like, that's funny. I enjoyed that.
So after
it's your turn.
After this, we had a little promo with Jake P. Atlas. And he is talking about Tommaso, and then gets slugged by Tommaso. And then Kyle O'Reilly comes in. KOR Combat comes in and is like, hey man, that's not cool. What you're doing, not cool, man. Meanwhile, his friends are bullying like a very short child. inside the building right next to him. Calling somebody a fat boar. Adam is
dork.
Adam is nowhere to be known. He is not found. Probably drinking his depression away.
Back home. My dude said not this week.
And then the ref or whoever said that you guys have a match next week. I think she was referring to Tommaso versus Jake.
No. Kyle said that.
Kyle said that.
He said, "Why are you guys doing this? You've got a match next week."
Oh, okay. So, I feel like Jake Atlas is gonna get, like, it's gonna be reported next week that he's injured, and so we're gonna get Kyle O'Reilly versus Tommaso, and Tommaso's gonna squash.
Very important note for this promo. Kyle, who, for the most part, during this entire promo, has been playing the good guy. Like, hey, don't beat up Jake. You can do that next week. It's not a right now thing. That's 7 days from now. Stop that. Right at the end, he's like, oh shit, yeah, I'm part of a heel faction, aren't I? Okay. Just looks down at Jake Atlas. He's like, you okay, man? Jake Atlas groans. He's like, yeah, good, get up. And walks away.
So we're on to you for the last fight.
Oh, God, are we here?
Yeah.
I didn't take that many notes at all for this. I can't see my scroll bar. That's how blind I am right now, so I had a lot more to go. I was really hoping that would crack. Anyways, we have Tim Thatcher Arms and Muscles ready for the match versus Damian Priest. For the North American... Ooh.
Yeah?
Yeah. For the North American title. So, I think we all knew how this was going to go. I'll break it down one way or the other. But I think we all knew how this was going to go. I didn't like it. So we got knees to Damian's face. Priest gets a takedown, escapes a headlock. He arm drags Tim Tams, and Timmy gets a headlock on Damian. Timmy sends some forearms to Priest. Priest shoulder tackles Thatcher. Thatcher uppercuts him. He kicks Thatcher. It's a very evenly matched fight for the most part because everything was countered, more or less. Thatcher then tosses Priest into the stairs and gets a double underhook suplex to Priest. Priest then is tossed back into the ring. Timmy sends some knees to his spine and then gets an arm sub locked in. He uppercuts him. Priest kind of jabs him. Tim goes for another arm sub. Priest ends up sending a boot into Thatcher's throat. Thatcher then is in the corner, kind of looking sad about everything, but that's also how he looks for a lot of the matches. He shortly thereafter manages a belly-to-belly toss to Priest, gets an arm sub back on him, uppercuts him. Thatcher grabs Priest by the throat and, while holding his throat, just slaps him across the face. I love that that's one of Timothy's moves, by the way. There's never been a time where he's done that and been like, oh, I didn't care for that. Because every time it's just like, you can do so much. You can do so much with that body of yours, and you bitch slapped the man. All right.
Better than a chest slap.
To be fair, when it's done by Big Show or Keith Lee, it actually looks like the worst goddamn thing I've ever seen happen to a person.
Oh, yeah.
Like, when Big Show was doing that to Andrade and Angel Garza. My own ribs cracked.
Oh.
So this just makes Priest angrier. He clotheslines Timothy, gets a falcon arrow on him. Timothy then goes for the Fujiwara armbar, but he gets kicked in the ear once and then a second time. Timothy sidesteps Priest, who I believe went up to the top rope to jump on him. Goes for an arm sub, but Priest fights out. He does his single leg crab, which I always love to watch because he looks so crazy when he fucking does it. But Priest wiggles free of it. Priest sends an elbow to Timothy. Timothy finally gets the Fujiwara armbar, but it doesn't really mean anything. Priest gets a hold of the rope. Priest then does a flatliner to Thatcher, choke slams him. Thatcher goes for another armbar, but Priest kicks him in the face. And then finally, after a spinning heel kick to Thatcher, Priest pulls off the Reckoning onto him, and he retains the title. I wasn't shocked. I don't think anyone should have been shocked. Priest wouldn't have lost the title within 2 weeks of getting the title. It's just... I'm only bitter because I like Timothy. Otherwise, I wouldn't be bitter. I'd just be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I'm hurt.
So best of the night? I'll take that as a yes.
The cat is deflated, by the way. She is completely mushed. Sorry.
Splucha suggested Kushida versus Priest match. Hot tub time machine match for the NA title. Sounds like a super lame idea, Splucha. Because I know he's been waiting for me to read it. But no, it sounds like a cool idea. Is Priest a creep though?
I mean, after his last hot tub experience.
Oh, that, yeah, okay,
possibly?
that's what's being referenced. I got the reference. Okay, I got it now.
Did you think it was just a reference to Kushida's Marty McFly gear?
Well, apparently,
on a normal basis.
When he was in New Japan Pro Wrestling, his whole thing was time travel.
Aw.
Like, he would have time travel matches, I think.
Wait, what?
Yeah. I think so.
Of course, the fucking WWE hasn't done anything like that. That's too cool.
Like, he should, I think Splucha mentioned it, he should go back in time and stop Velveteen and Austin Theory from being creeps.
Also, while I open up the Twitch chat, this is a perfect time for me to mention, oh my god, we have to change the icon to a color icon.
Okay.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
So, best of the night. Promo of the night. We started off with the Drake Maverick promo, where he's coming in.
You say that's so sad.
Drake Maverick is so sad. And then we had the Finn Balor interview, I guess you would call it. We had Austin Theory We had Austin Theory talking in the ring. We had the Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano promo, talking to EO, getting mad about the TV. We had the Tegan Knox response video. And then we had the Jake Atlas promo featuring Kyle O'Reilly and Tommaso Ciampa. It's gotta be the Gargano home. That's my pick. It was funny. It was very nice. I love seeing the Garganos. They're wonderful. Do you disagree? I'm not getting a vibe here.
You shouldn't be.
So you disagree?
Because my bias says the Kyle promo.
What was interesting about that promo besides Kyle?
Oh, shit. We forgot to mention something real quick.
What was that?
Next or not next. I don't really know what's happening. William Regal announced a gauntlet match. Apparently, neither of us took notes on this because we were both complaining about it to each other. William Regal announced a gauntlet match, which is basically it's going to be a mini Royal Rumble to challenge Finn Balor for his title. It's going to be 5 men, I guess he said.
Yeah, 5-person, not Battle Royale, gauntlet the style match of Royal Rumble, where it's 2 people in the ring, and then after 4 minutes, another person comes out, and you win by pinfall or submission. And no idea who those 5 people are, but
the people suggested were Bronson, Cameron, Velveteen, all 3 non-Adam Cole Undisputed Era members. Velveteen Dream was in it. Oh. Yes. Gargano, and forgetting someone else who I think
you're forgetting like 4 people. The 4 people when he said, because there were 5 people shown when he said 5-man Battle Royale.
No, they showed a ton of people. They showed a ton of guys as he said that.
I thought they showed a ton of people when he said the roster's massive.
Well, he mentioned that it was going to be a 5-man Royal Rumble, more or less. And then he said, with how deep our roster is. And then that's when they started showing pictures of Bronson and everyone else. Or clips, I guess.
I think Tim Tam was also in there.
He may have been. There's someone who annoyed me, though, that was in it. It was confusing.
Kushida.
That's why we're confused.
Kushida was there.
Oh, Kushida. I'm trying to think. There's somebody who annoys me that's in it.
God, why can't I remember?
You keep going. I will side with you on the promos here.
Okay.
And then I'm going to look up who, because the promos, at the end of the day, it's NXT. I can't fight too hard for a promo on either side.
Alright, so promo of the night. Candice and Johnny complain about Tegan. Fighter of the night. So we started off with Shotzi Blackheart versus Io Shirai. And although I love Io Shirai, my pick here is Shotzi. She looked fucking amazing. Like, we talked a lot last week about how Shotzi was super impressive and how like she completely improved from how she had been. But somehow she took it a step further. I think Shotzi like really just went balls to the walls today, doing like all sorts of new moves. Really showing us what she's capable of. And I'm so excited for my prediction to come true that she will be the next contender for the title. But after that, we had Tommaso versus Desmond Troy, and it was a squash. But gotta say Tommaso, he's the only one who really did anything. Then we had Austin Theory versus Kushida. I gotta go with Kushida. Kushida looked pretty good. Didn't look amazing. But yeah, he looked fine. And then we had Breezango versus Imperium. I think I had Fandango here, but again, Fandango didn't do so much. Nobody really did so much in this fight. It was very much just a war of attrition, where people are kind of just trying to survive and nobody looked amazing. Tyler Breeze had some moments, but nothing was really like impressive from him. The most impressive I think was Fandango. And then after that we had Xia Li and Jessie Camilla versus Kaden Carter and Casey Catanzaro. And for me it was a tie between Kaden Carter and Casey, because although Casey was her normal like incredibly athletic self and incredibly acrobatic, Kaden also looked fantastic today. She was pulling off some moves, because normally she's just like I'd say on the more average side when it comes to her wrestling style. It's a lot more generic, but today it was a lot more flashy. Um, so I think they're both kind of on the same level of this fight. And then after that we had and Bobby versus Killian and Drake Maverick. I guess I picked Roddy for this. His use of Fat Boar was really the only thing that really put me ahead here.
Not the backbreakers. That's his specialty.
Yeah, it's his specialty, but like he's basically fighting a punching bag the whole time. Like Tommaso's specialty is death, and he that was a squash. Um, but I'll give that fight to Roddy. And then we had Damian Priest versus Timothy Thatcher. And although Tim Tams is good, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. What makes Tim Tam so good and so interesting isn't himself. It's his personality that helps make him so good, but it's how his opponents can kind of figure him out or escape or counter. And I think the best part of Damian Priest today wasn't so much his normal fighting style, it was how he kind of took Timothy Thatcher's studying him and surprised Tim Tam. Because there was a moment, I think once he got off that first arm drag, you saw a look from Tim Tams that was like, oh shit, I didn't prepare for this. It kind of shows the little development in character that you kind of want to see in moments like this. But I wouldn't say either were really like amazing, just because what? Why are you making that face?
I'm just waiting.
Neither were like amazing today. Tim Tams is always good, but it's hard for him to improve or to look better than he always does. Because that fighting style that he does can never really be like, it can never be flashier. It can never be more grandiose. Just because it is such a technical, methodical technique. But the fighter of the night overall for tonight is, for me, Shotzi Blackheart. Like I said, she took last week, and I remember how we were saying amazing things about her last week. She took it a step further this week.
So first thing I'm going to say is I don't care for when you explain to me why you hate a wrestler, and then I realize, oh, that's why I hate this wrestler, and then you choose them in their match to be the best wrestler. Because now I'm sitting here like, oh no, I hate him. You did this to me with Damian Priest. You were like, oh yeah, he's really showboaty, and I just realized that, and I was like, oh yeah, he is. So now anytime he does any of his like cringy little things, I'm like,
oh yeah. And he did it in the match where like he had Tim Tam between his legs and he went like this, and then you see Tim Tam counter it.
Yeah. However, that said, no, I agree.
Oh, okay. I
just wanted to complain for 5 seconds.
I expected you to pick like Roddy or something.
Or I mean, in my heart, in my truth, it's Roddy and Bobby. a tie because I love them.
Breeze.
Sir. However, in one of the lobes of my brain, it says that it's got to be Shotzi. I really enjoyed that match. And she surprised me. That was for goddamn sure.
They gotta start putting those matches as the main event. I would have much preferred this as the main event, the North American match as the opener.
But in a weird way, I kind of like that they do like these really exciting matches in the beginning because like you drew me in. I'm not going anywhere now. And I think that's what they're doing, especially since like Wednesday night is like when they're fighting AEW. It's like, hey, give us these early numbers. And then stick around for the fun, I guess, you know.
Yeah, I got you.
Which, to be fair, when it's broken up with, because the Timothy and Damian Priest match was not bad. When it's broken up that way, where it's like fucking amazing fight in the beginning, some funnier fights like with Roddy and Bobby and Drake in the middle, and then with like a decent enough fight at the end, it's like okay. Honestly, if I've watched until fucking 9:30, I may as well watch the last goddamn fight anyways.
Yeah, like, I definitely think that the Damian Thatcher fight was, like, the second best today because it had so much to it. But I'll get to that once we start talking about the best fight of the night.
Which is now.
Right now. So we started off with Shotzi Blackheart versus Io Shirai. A really, really great match. That if you told us this match was going to be happening like a couple months ago, we would have thought that it was going to be a complete squash. Because Shotzi, until now, was basically enhancement talent. She was on the same level as Indy Hartwell. And today, it was anything but that. Shotzi looked amazing. Io looked amazing. Everybody looked goddamn fantastic. I think this match kind of had everything to it. And then top it all off with a nice little ending where they're very sportsmanlike, hugging.
Pals.
Yeah, pals. I would have just liked to see more story elements to it. This very much felt just like a filler fight, you know? It didn't seem like there was much motivation for this fight to even be happening. Like if you hadn't watched last week. But regardless, it was, I think out of every fight today, this was the best fight. Like the best meat on meat action out of tonight. But after that, we have Tommaso versus Desmond Troy, which again was a squash. Nothing but that. Yeah, it wasn't even an interesting squash like Tommaso versus Jake Atlas. This was just sad. Then we had Austin Theory versus Kushida, which was a pretty good fight. Kushida looked great. Austin Theory looked decent. I'll never understand what Austin Theory's shtick is besides literally being a douche. No, Spoocha. Biggie is not getting it.
On Friday, maybe.
We'll see. We'll see. There's always next week.
There's always next week, no matter what. There's always next week. Cutting down right at the ankles.
But with this fight, with Theory versus Kushida, I think there's always... I think anything this fight did, there was another fight that did it better. And then we got into Breezango versus Imperium, which was a really good fight. It was just like a slog to get through. Because Fandango...
The first half.
The first half was... And then it just like exploded. And you know, there is one reason why this fight happened in the first place. There's only one reason. and it's to send Imperium back to NXT UK. That's where they're going. That's where
Tune
they're
in tomorrow at
staying.
3 p.m. on WWE Network for NXT UK. We're not sponsored. I just have to remind myself, actually.
Don't plug WWE right now.
So sorry.
Even though
I've become the shill.
This whole podcast is basically dedicated to them.
No, it's not basically. It is.
Well, we talk about AEW during the news.
Yeah, I yell at them.
But yeah, this fight was half good. I think if again, just like the last fight, whatever this fight did, another fight did it better. Then we had Xia Li and Jessie Camilla versus Kaden Carter and Casey Catanzaro. Really good fight. This was a really good fight. On one side, Xia Li and Jessie Camilla did not look good. They did not look good at all. And we all know this fight is just leading into the Battle Royale that's coming next week. So again, this fight was half good, but in a different way from the Breezango Imperium fight. Then we had Roddy and Bobby versus Killian and Drake. A really good story fight. Although we had to watch Drake Maverick get bullied for like 15 minutes.
Woo!
Liz really likes Drake Maverick, a child getting bullied.
Woo!
Like my Dominic Mysterio, but for NXT.
The fighting
And also
itself,
he's a grown adult.
the fighting itself wasn't very good. It wasn't amazing. Drake was just kind of trying to survive. But I think story-wise, this fight was better than the rest. I know Drake is near 40, but he looks like a child. He's so small.
Wait, he's near. Wait, no, back that one all the way up. Sorry, Drake Maverick Drake is nearly 40.
Yep.
He's almost twice my age.
Yep. $37.
Damn. He's 37. Okay. Hey, that's so old in me. Oh.
It's almost 40.
Frankly, you know what? For how young he looks, I can only pray that I look the same at 37. I hope I look just like Drake Maverick when I hit 37.
Yeah, you're gonna like lose all your hair.
I don't age,
get like
I just
facial
slowly
hair.
become Drake Maverick.
Oh god. Okay, so
17 years from now, you see. No, wait. How old am I? 13 years from now, you see. Sorry.
okay, anyway, so after that we move into the last fight, Damian Priest versus Timothy Thatcher. A very fun fight to watch. Both guys were kind of fighting really well. As far as fighting goes, this isn't the best fight. This is definitely like the second best fight. But I think this fight had a lot more complexity to it. Am I saying that right? A lot more complexity. Yeah.
Just say it was much more complex, I guess.
Yeah, it was much more complex than the other fights because you kind of had to understand like that Timothy Thatcher had been studying Damian Priest and acknowledged beforehand that Priest showboats, and then Damian goes in there, immediately starts off with an arm drag, doesn't showboat in any way for most of the fight. And kind of catches Tim Tam kind of shaking in his boots a little bit. So it's kind of tough for me to pick the best fight for today, just because every fight had something that made it really great. But there was no complete package today. But I am gonna pick the closest thing to it, which is Shotzi Blackheart versus Io Shirai. Thoughts?
I have thoughts.
Okay.
My first thought is there are nights when I hate that I have the chat open, and tonight is one of them.
Oh no.
I've been laughing the whole time.
I know, I've been seeing you.
I'm trying not to make it look like I'm laughing at you. But then Splucha called Velveteen Dream the Purple Nightmare, and I really had a little bit of trouble there. Second of all, can I petition for an asterisk here with the Roddy Bobby Drake fight? Oh my god, I was gonna agree with you though!
Yeah, but why do you want an asterisk for that fight?
Because that is a storyline. That has story, baby.
Okay. It's still.
Where was your story in any other fight? We had some sick-ass fighting. We had Drake Maverick fighting from the bottom, fighting for his goddamn life because it was just him.
Liz,
We had bullying.
I compared that. I compared the storylines between all the fights. That one had the most story out of all of them. But as far as the actual fighting
And
went,
good fighting. It was good fighting.
not as good as Shotzi vs. Io.
It wasn't. I admit that. That's why I'm petitioning for an asterisk here. Because I'm agreeing with you.
Well, you gotta win the asterisk over from the chat.
Oh god, they're not going to agree with this.
Exactly.
This is foolishness.
So you admit it's foolishness. How much catch could a Tim Thatch snatch if a Tim Thatch can catch as catch can? What the fuck? So, do you guys agree that Liz...
Next time I'm drunk, please ask me to say that.
Should Liz get a little asterisk for the Roddy Bobby Drake Maverick fight?
Somebody, please.
If there's silence,
Please,
I'm gonna
give me
count
my
it as a
asterisk.
no.
I know you are. I work so hard. I get news articles, I
Ooh.
make signs, I host. Mike! You know, I have access to the Twitter too. I can make a tweet. I can tweet.
We retributing till Biggie wins.
No.
Alright, well, big fight of the night is Shotzi Blackheart versus Io Shirai.
Like, don't do that to me.
So to run it back, our promo of the night, Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano complain about Tegan Nox. Fighter of the night, Shotzi Blackheart. Fight of the night, Shotzi Blackheart versus Io Shirai. No asterisk. So I guess I'll close this out.
Oh no, I'll close this out. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
So, join us on Friday. You know, sometimes I just get my feelings hurt on this goddamn podcast. But I'll put on a happy face. Anyways, join us on Friday. We will be back on Friday. Let me say that one more time, I guess. We'll be back on Friday for SmackDown. I'm not really sure anything special is going to happen. Because it's SmackDown. Do you have anything special lined up for that at all?
Sasha Banks is coming back.
Oh, Sasha's coming back. Okay, so that's a thing.
Is there something going on with the Universal title? We'll probably see Jimmy Uso. I have a strong feeling about that. What else is going on? I don't think there's much going on, honestly. Grimes is not defending on the moon.
The cat just fell off the bed.
I heard.
Yep, that was pretty loud. That wasn't very graceful for you, was it?
Um,
It was every day.
I'm sure we're gonna see like Sami Zayn versus AJ Styles. Yeah, not
Is
much.
Roman gonna wear another shirt? completely
Probably
different
gonna be the
saying that
same
he can
one.
quote.
Because he saves.
If I hear him say, "Show up and win one more time,"
He saves like the big ones for like new ones for pay-per-views, I think. He just wears the same shirt over and over.
Lord help us. Anyways, we'll be back on Friday. Yeah, we'll be back on Friday. That's all I can say. And then maybe on Monday I'll be back for Raw. Either going to be the longest episode that's ever happened to this podcast or the shortest episode that's ever happened to this podcast. I'm really not sure. But guess what? I get to make the rules. I get to pick who wins. I get to pretend that I'm talking to Mark. And I'm going to say, Mark, what do you think? Oh, you think you agree with me? Oh, cool.
Thanks for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed, please hit that follow button, hit the little bell so you're notified whenever we go live. Follow us on Twitter at the Pinfall Cast so you're also notified whenever we go live. And if you miss a podcast, we'll also be posting our fighter and fight of the night every night there. And then go to our YouTube, the Pinfall Podcast. Still don't have the profile picture changed.
Damn.
If you missed part of this podcast, we're going to watch previous ones. We archive everything there for your viewing pleasure. And then follow our personal Twitters as well. I'm at the Mark Cameron. Liz is at Eliza Elaine23. And follow my personal Twitch too. Twitch.tv/Mark Cameron. Cool thing of wrestling and Pokemon. Watch the finals of the UPF World Championship Tournament happen this Saturday. The finals. I could be the world champion. That's happening this Saturday.
Also, I was going to say, very special shout out to our guest host tonight, Pete's.
And good night, everybody.
Early. Okay, cool. Sorry, Pete's. No shout out for you tonight.
Follow Pete's Twitter at Shaquille O'Neal. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you on Friday with SmackDown.